One of the things we do around here when we build a car, especially a car with the level of modifications and aftermarket parts that the loose change Camaro has, is we'll actually build the car twice, which sounds a little redundant, but you have a slew of aftermarket parts that are designed for the car, but the car's several years old, so it's had its bumps along the way. So you got to make everything cooperate, plus a bunch of things that were never meant to be in this car, like an LSA, a T56, even the Detroit Speed components that are designed for the car. You still got to do a lot of cutting and welding. So we've determined that by putting the car together completely and making everything work, we've got all our holes drilled, all our wires ran, and we know where everything's going to be, so that we're not, final assembly and, oh, we got to drill a hole in this painted panel. We've already done all that. Overall, it definitely helps the final assembly phase because there's not a lot of stuff that we still have to figure out. Generally, that's limited to windshields and a couple trim pieces that are related to that. Usually, take it apart, paint everything, put it back together, and maybe some minor things with film build on like ground surfaces for electrical components or something like that. But overall, the car gets screwed back together the way it came apart. One of the things we did on the loose change Camaro that the customer wanted was to clean up the area between the header panel and the core support, especially with all the extra equipment for the supercharger intercooler and the AC. There's a lot of stuff up there that you don't really want to see when you open the hood. The owner's son designed a rendering of what the panel should look like, and Adam went ahead and made something that fit to the design as close as possible and closed that area off nicely. Unfortunately, when we went through the bodywork and paintwork process, by the time you've gotten that far forward on the car, everything that's stacked up and the minor nuances of reassembly and paint and bodywork and all that, it didn't quite fit right. So we were actually down to the wire, cars in the trailer, trying to make that part fit right so we could close the hood without it rubbing something. The piece looks phenomenal. It just cleans it up. You walk up to the car and you don't see anything that makes the car work that's in front of the core support. And a lot of people wouldn't think twice about it because there's a lot of parts like this on the market, but none of them fit as nicely as the one that Adam made. And no matter how much you plan and pre-assemble and test fit, when you're building a one-off custom car, there's always something that's not going to go quite right. Maybe the guy who put it together did it in a different order. Maybe something got a little more paint on it than planned. Or maybe it's just that many pieces stacked together, something just didn't cooperate. It's important to note that anytime you build a custom car, you're going to have bumps along the way. When we got to the SEMA Show with the loose change Camaro, it was in the Toyo Tires tread class display, which is between two of the big halls that stuff's displayed inside. In the tread pass display, they've got like a blue flooring and some canopy stuff and pillars, but the big thing is the type of cars that are in there. You've got off-road, four-wheel drive trucks, you've got supercars like Lamborghinis, you've got full-on actual race cars, and then obviously our '69 Camaro, which was representing muscle cars. The reason Toyo has all these cars in their display is because they make tires for every facet of performance automobiles. And they want to represent what their tires are capable of. Everything in the Toyo Tread Pass display was highest quality stuff. You could tell that, like the race cars, they've been used, they got rubber on the quarter panels, they're chipped up. So you can tell that Toyo wants you to know that their product will fit whatever you need to do. Before the official opening of the SEMA Show, we did another quick detail on the car, wiped the dust off of it, any fingerprints or anything, and put a car cover on it so that we could do an official unveiling. When it came time to do unveiling, nobody had seen this car in person that should have been in the crowd at this point. We had a nice group of people gathered up. Kevin said some words about the car, and we pulled the cover off of it, and everybody really liked the car. We got an applause. The car definitely stood tall. It fit in well with the other vehicles represented there. It was probably the most colorful car in the crowd, so it stopped people mostly on how different it was from everything else that was sitting there.